I don't know about you, but I haven't been able to appreciate Jell-O since I was dick high. You know, quite flamboyant flavors, you kind of grow out of them. However, I found out later in life about this thing called coffee jelly. Effectively coffee Jell-O, but I guess Jell-O is a trademark, so they just call it jelly. I suppose everyone else might call it jelly if it's not actually Jell-O brand Jell-O, but for all intents and purposes, this is a coffee flavored Jell-O. And when I discovered that existed, well, shit, my love for Jell-O bloomed all over again, much like the gelatin does when you put it into the water. So, this is a very simple recipe. And when done, it kind of has that satisfying consistency as if you maybe indulged yourself into some ice cream, except it's effectively low fat, right? There's sugars and there's fats and sugars, but for the most part, if you just really need to satisfy that sweet tooth and don't want to commit to something more indulgent, this is a workaround, right? So, quite simply, we start off with 4 cups of water, one of which we're going to put into this bowl. Come on now. Come on now, 1 cup of water. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, maybe I should have measured this separately ahead of time. All right, and then the other 3 cups are going to go into this pot. And then we're gonna, get this going to a boil. That's gonna go ahead and take a little while. So while we're waiting for that to boil, I guess we just kind of wait a bit. However, you're gonna be using just plain ass gelatin. Here, we're gonna go in for the 3D, do the makeup hand thing. Normal, plain, it's like Jell-O, but it's got no flavor. And that's an interesting little hack that I never quite realized before. You could just get unflavored gelatin, unflavored Jell-O, and flavor it however the hell you want. Imagine the possibilities. Now you're going to use 4 packets of this. I'm making a 4-cup batch, so it's basically 1 packet per cup. And I gotta sprinkle this into the water just before I'm ready to deal with the pat. And it's a pain in the ass to have to open them all separately before. So we're just gonna go ahead and get it ready in this little bowl right here. Like the posh cooking shows where they never actually measure the ingredients. It's just all laid out for them on the table in separate little bowls. And you think that's a good idea until you're dating a woman who likes to cook like that and she creates a lot of fucking dishes. And then, maybe you're living in a shitty apartment in the Donovan and you haven't got a dishwasher like I got now, and then, holy fuck, that's a lot of dishes. That's when I defied that one policy where, if you cook, I'll clean, or if I cook, you clean. Fuck no. You are not responsible for your own messes until you have to clean them yourself. That said, well shit, I guess we just have to wait now. Alright, so our shit over there is almost boiling. So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to start the gelatin going, right? So what you gotta do is you gotta just gently, you gotta sprinkle this, right? Gotta sprinkle this evenly. Gotta give it an even sprinkle. Yeah, this is getting out of hand. It's taking forever now. And then you just gotta let that fester for a little while. So while we're doing that, we're gonna go ahead and pre-decant the rest of our ingredients. We're gonna need like a 1/2 cup of sugar. And that's one of the reasons why this doesn't seem so bad. That's a 1/3 cup. That's not gonna work. It doesn't seem so bad because for this entire huge batch, it's only a 1/2 cup of sugar. So that's why it doesn't seem so bad. Are you repeating yourself, sir? Oh, yes, sir. I think I am repeating myself, sir. Do you bite your thumb, sir? No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at coffee jelly. Coffee jelly is good shit. Now, here's the trick. Nescafe rich, you know? Now, the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of this. But I like it a little richer, so I'm going to go 3 tablespoons. Right? Now, this is where shit gets tricky. And there's a reason why I pre-decanted. You see, as soon as I put this mixture into the pot, this fucker's gonna froth over like fucking a volcano. So you have to be ready to stir it. Oh yeah, you see it froth? You see that froth, bud? This thing would explode in your face if you weren't friggin'... I gotta dip this, get the rest of that off there. This thing would explode in your freaking face, bud, if like you weren't giving it a good stir. You gotta make sure you give it a good stir, sir. Give it the good stir, sir. You gotta give it the good sir. You gotta give it a good stir. Yes, stir, Mr. Sir. Thermistor. All right. Now that that's done, we get to kind of finish up the beach. Oh, that thing's hot. Use your pot holder, bud. These pot holders are probably older than I am. All right, so as you can see, the jelly has gelatinized. And then we're just going to start to combine that in there. Oh, yeah, bud. Oh, yeah. Oh, bud. You like that? I think I like that. And that's part of the process right there. Just stir it together, sir. Just stir it together. Just stir it together. Well, this part of the process is pretty straightforward. No technique, no skills needed. And that's one great thing about this recipe. No skills needed. No prior experience. And so we have this general trough device right here. And we're just going to go ahead and pour it in there. Oh yeah. Just pour that in there, sir. Oh, there's some giblets at the bottom. Easy cleanup too. We haven't got baked on schmoo. I got, what is all this spillage? I want to dry work surface, sir. Dry this surface. Oh, I think I spilled some already. Oh well. So now that that's done, I'm gonna let this cool for a little bit, because if you put it into the fridge right away, it's gonna get very condensed up there. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about now. Coffee dripping jelly. I think you know it, bud. Coffee freaking jelly. I think you know it, bud. Coffee freaking jelly. I think you know it, bud. Coffee freaking jelly. Think you know it, bud. Coffee freaking jelly. Fuck yeah, bud. Now, after about 15, 20 minutes, when you no longer see steam emanating off the top of it, we're gonna cover it up, you know, just like the government does. I use this press and seal. It's a lot easier to work with than cling wrap. You see, you want to get rid of some of that steam because it's just going to condensate all up on the top of the plastic here in such a way that, you know, when you go to pull the plastic off, it's going to drip water all over it. Now, you got to be careful when you're moving this, because if you know anything about coffee, you know how hyper viscous it is. You know how it is? You could have a cup of water and move a little bit and just, oh, slosh, slosh, look at me, I'm water just sloshing around. But not coffee. You know how it is with coffee. You're holding a coffee, you're trying to hold that fucker as still as possible, and then the slightest little bump, fucking splashes everywhere. You know what I'm talking about. You coffee drinkers know what I'm talking about. Coffee is hyper viscous. It has this magical ability to store and transfer energy. They should use it in hydraulic tractors. They'd have 50 times more chooch, I swear. Tractors might work faster too with all the caffeine. So now that we've got this all ready, it gets chilled in the refrigerator. Careful now. It's like defusing a bomb. It gets chilled in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours. So you want to make it well before dinner time so it's ready in time for dessert. Oh yeah. Whew. Get the nurse to mop the sweat off my brow now. All right. So we'll be back in 4 hours. I don't know why I bother mentioning that. Movie magic. It'll happen in a snap. And here it is. Now, you gotta be careful for that first peel. There's a whole lot of moisture. It's gonna rain down in there. You don't want that. But it would be even worse had we not let it steam off a little bit. So carefully peel it. Now, unfortunately, storing this, you might have to replace the cover because it's kind of a write-off after, but there it is. Look at that. I want to do the DQ thing, but I'm not going to risk making that kind of a mess. So, next up, well, what is next? Other than to eat it. Other than to try to get this asshole out of the pan. Which is something I've forgotten how to do. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. This is going awry. Alright, let's just hammer it in there now. I think I want more than that. It is just Jell-O after all. There's always room for Jell-O. Which is good because I did have a big meal today. Try not to touch it with your fingers though. Now, once that happens, traditionally, we serve it with a little bit of, oh yeah, sweetened condensed milk. At least that's what I serve with it. Now you gotta watch out because this is where everything gets fucked up. I meant to wash the spoon, not the fingers. Because this stuff, again, very, very low fat, but fucking loaded with sugar, bud. And you just drizzle that on there. Oh, I like 2 spoonfuls because I'm a lush. And it's been a while since I've had this. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Coffee jelly. Let's take a little taste of that. It's even better when the condensed milk is chilled. And well, that's about it. Try it. Oh, and if you're feeling a little extra lush, take about a spoonful of cocoa powder, like unsweetened, the hardcore shit, and just put it in there. The condensed milk is so sugary, you end up with a chocolate sauce.